Good morning, folks. Good morning. Friction. What do I mean? Coach Micheal Burt, 8:31. Giving you a little bit later Thursday rhythm, folks. Got in at midnight from Detroit. Stayed at the 505. Up early to see the youngins. And now headed to the lodge. So I'm bringing you the Thursday rhythm, folks. Oh, Coach Burt. Man, I believe everybody needs a coach in life. Thank you to the people in Detroit, Michigan. Came out yesterday. It was beautiful up there. Freddie Bland. Don't let people tell you about somewhere in the country, man, until you go enjoy it. Right? People tell me about how awful Detroit is. Don't go to Detroit. Folks, I was in an area, Farmington, that looked like this. What I'm in here. Okay? So never, ever, ever take somebody else's opinion on something. Take firsthand experience. Now, this morning, Jaime, Dorian, Deshaun, we're going to talk about one word, man, friction. And I was about to do an event, and I was talking to a guy named Steve Sims. Steve Sims wrote a book called Blue Fishing. And for a period of his life, his job, Lori's style, was to open doors that you couldn't get into. Like if Lori wanted to meet someone that she couldn't get access to, David, this guy would make it happen, Jimmy. He would make it happen, and his name was Steve Sims. So he and I were talking about doing something together, Cynthia, and I was talking about we got to sell tickets, and we got to do this, and we got to get the venue, and we got to do this. What's up, Bobby? And we got to do all these things, right? And he said, man, Coach, it just seems like there's way too much friction. And I thought it was a brilliant statement. Friction is when it's hard to make something happen. You make it hard to make something happen. There's too many steps. There's too much complication. There's too much complexity. There's too much, there's 17 steps, right? Like I'm trying to get some funding right now, for the Greatness Factory, and there's steps, and you're trying to get investors, and you got to fill out forms, and you got to have attorneys, and you got to demand. And what happens is, when people make it difficult, very few people have the discipline to take something complicated and go do it, man. We live in a microwave world. And that's really how people want to be successful. I want to go to Coach Burt's boot camp on Flip the Switch. I want to get my Pray Drive activated. I want to make $1 million, right? That's how people think. But the truth is every part of life has friction to it, man. Right? And what we're trying to do is we're actually trying to remove that friction so it's not difficult. So how do you remove friction for yourself? At night, you sit down and you map out everything in the morning. You get your juice that you're drinking ready, and you get your vitamins ready, and you make sure everything's laid out the way it's supposed to. And there's no side, right? The schedule is like it's supposed to be, man. Everything is planned out like it's mapped to. Because what we're trying to do, Malcolm, is remove friction, man. When there's too much friction, like I was thinking last night, I'm flying back on Delta. I'm in first class. I'm watching Billions. And they come on and interrupt you, man, to tell you not to smoke on the airplane. I mean, when is the last time somebody smoked on a freaking airplane? Okay? What was it, the 70s? Is there really a need, Brian Covey, to interrupt my show? That's friction, man. To tell us, welcome, thank you, we're glad you're on the plane. Look, we know we're on the plane, folks. We paid the money. I paid the first class money to be in first class, man. I don't need the friction, okay? So friction is just when people make it more difficult. Now, the question is, do you create friction? Is it difficult to do business with you? Okay, I'm constantly telling my team, remove the friction, right? Amazon made a fortune by patenting one little concept, and that was a one-click checkout, right? And they patented that concept. Because why? They understand friction. Go to Amazon, buy anything you want, one click, ship it to your house, man. They store everything for you. That's removing friction, okay? So I want you to think, and then I deal with people all day long, man, who just have bad attitudes, or they create their own friction, because it's like, man, I don't even want to deal with this person, because there's a constant nagging, or bitching, or moaning, or complaining, and they don't even understand until you tell them, look, man, you create so much friction for people. They don't want to do business with you. They don't want to work with you, because it's so difficult to work with you. So I just really want you to think about this today. A, in your business, how do you remove friction? B, how do you personally remove the friction for your life? I was watching an interview this morning, and a statement came up, is that small-minded people talk about other people. Big-minded people talk about ideas and execution. And you got to make up your mind which one you're going to be, man. You going to be a small-minded person, spend all your time worrying about other people, or are you going to be a big-minded person, talk about ideas? Big-time people talk about execution of an idea. They don't just keep bringing ideas. They really bring a serious plan. When I was a basketball coach, and I refer to this a lot because it's a decade of my life, Brian Kovic, the athletic director job came available. And I wanted that job. It's prestigious, raised my status, thought I could do some good in the role. All the other coaches sit back and waited on the principal to ask them to be the athletic director. I went to the principal's office, made a 14-point plan, presented the plan to him. He said, what's this? He said, this is the plan. I said, this is the plan that I'm going to utilize when you name me athletic director this afternoon. It's 14 points. It's 14 points, 14 things I'm going to do to improve this athletic department. You know what he said? You're the only person that has brought me a plan to improve anything around here. Most people specialize in the complaint department. Guess what, folks? My complaint department is closed. My excuse department shut down during COVID. We shut it down. The complaint and excuse department has been permanently closed due to COVID. Okay? Now, here's the point, man. I want you to remove some friction today. Today I'm going to the lodge. I'm going to help these folks. We're going to do flip the switch. We're going to activate some Pray Drive. And part of activating Pray Drive, I'm really coming to understand, man, is just taking action. It's quit talk about it, start being about it, for the love of God. Right? Do something. Do something. You can say a lot of things about me you don't like, but one is that the dude don't get up and go get it every day, man.